Hello, it's Dr. Wyman again. We're still on chapter 6 from Microeconomics for consumer choice theory. And I want to show you the third problem that we're going to be working on. And I'm going to share my screen here. And okay. So what I wanted to show you with this particular problem, the reason I wanted to do it is because of the graphs here. And I wanted to show you how you can use the graphs to help you solve problems. But one thing that I did want to mention to you is don't feel bad if you have to reread problems, because I do it all the time, especially when I'm dealing with math problems or trying to solve economic problems, or even if I'm reading an article in a newspaper or a magazine or something like that, I still reread because I want to make sure that I'm understanding. And in the case of problems for math or economics, I want to make sure that I'm understanding what is being asked of me. So, you should be doing that also, making sure that you understand what is the problem asking you. And so that really helps give you some direction instead of just like jumping into the questions and, like you briefly read the problem. It's like you really just need to slow down and read it, make sure you understand it, and then go on to the calculations. Okay. So let's read the problem. Shen enjoys consuming both cheese and fruit. Each pound of cheese costs $1. So the P means price, C means cheese. And each pound of fruit costs $2. P means price, F is fruit. Suppose that Shen buys 75 pounds of cheese and 50 pounds of fruit per month. The following graphs show his marginal utility curves for cheese and fruit. At his current consumption level, Shen's marginal utility from consuming the last pound of cheese he bought is MU, which means marginal utility for cheese, equals 12 utils per pound. And his marginal utility for consuming the last pound of the fruit he bought is MUF. MU is marginal utility, F is fruit, equals 12 utils per pound. So we see these graphs here. One is for cheese and one is for fruit. And you see the vertical line is the marginal utility for each, right? Cheese and fruit. Okay, so now let's look at the problem. For each of the following combinations of cheese and fruit, calculate the marginal utility per dollar from the last pound of cheese and the last pound of fruit. Then indicate with true or false which of the combinations satisfy the condition for consumer equilibrium. Okay, so there's two parts to this question. Calculate the marginal utility per dollar from the last pound of cheese and the last pound of fruit. Okay, so let's do that first. So this combination, it's just A, B, C, and D. It's just a way to identify these combinations of 100, 100, 75, 50, etc. So we're going to look at the cheese chart first. And because we're here, cheese is $1 per pound. We have marginal utility over price. So 100, when we look at 100, what's the price? 8. So we're going to put 8 in here. Okay, when we look at 75, the price is 12. When we look at 125, the price is 4. And when we look at 25, the price is 20. Okay, so now we're going to move over to fruit. Now the fruit is $2 per pound. So what we're going to have here is we're going to look at 100, $8 or 8 utils. I'm sorry, not dollars, utils, but it's $2 per pound. So what do? MU divided by price. So the MU is 12 divided by 2. So we would have 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So for 50, we have 12 divided by 2 equals 6. For 100, 8 divided by 2, divided by 2 equals 4. And for the last one, we have 25, and 25 is 15 divided by 2 equals 7.5, but we're going to round down to 7, okay? And I'll just make it like that so we can see it on the same line. Okay, so then we're looking at this. Does 8 equal 4? No, so that's false. Does 12 equal 6? No, so that's false. Does 4 equal 4? Yes, so that's true. And does, what is this thing? Delete this thing, whatever it is, delete. Oops. Oh, my goodness. So does 20 equal 7.5 or 7? No, so the answer is false. Okay. So you've just completed this problem. So we're indicating true or false for which of the combinations satisfy the condition for consumer equilibrium. So we know that 125 pounds of cheese and 100 pounds of fruit would be the optimal level. So I have that down here as the problem is solved, which is what we just did, right? So this is C is going to be the answer. Okay. So hopefully you can see how that works. Make sure that you have the, you remember your dollar amounts, and that's really the key there. But you can see how using the graphs helped you solve this problem. So now we have the next part of this problem. Suppose Shen has an appetizer budget of $325 per month, which he spends on cheese and fruit. To maximize his utility, Shen will purchase how many pounds of cheese and how many pounds of fruit? So this problem is asking us pounds of cheese and pounds of fruit per month. How many, right? So we know that this is $2 per pound. And cheese is $1 per pound and fruit is $2 per pound, right? So with his budget, Shen can purchase any bundle in the table. He has $325. He can make any combination of this. To calculate the cost of each bundle, multiply the quantity and price of each good as shown in the following table. Shen can afford any bundle that costs less than or the same as the budget. However, only bundle C, which is the answer, will satisfy the condition for the consumer. And you can see that this is up here, right? 125 and 100. So we know that it's 125 and 100 from the previous problem, but there's also a way to calculate this. So what we're going to do here is you take 100. So if you do we can make a little extended chart here. Let me see if I did it down here. Well, I'll just show you down here. But you can do this chart, and this is a mistake right here. So it's 1. So you're going to do cheese first of all in this section. And then you're going to do fruit over here. Okay. So cheese is 100. Let's insert a column. Insert a column. So this is going to be cheese times 1, right? Equals 100. And over here, you're going to have 75 times 1 equals 75. And 125 times 1 equals 125. And 25 times 1 equals 25. Then for fruit, you have 100 times 2 equals 200. 75 times 2 equals 150. 125 times 2 is 250. And 25 times 2 is 50. So when you do the calculation, you can see 125 plus 250 equals 325. So you would just add these. So this is 300. And this is 225. And this is 75. So we know that his budget is 325. So this is where we want to be, 325. And that's how you calculate it. Down here, I just wanted to point out that this is should be 2. The book made a mistake. It shouldn't be 22. So this is how you would know what the optimum level of cheese and fruit would be for Shen to purchase every month. All right, so that's it. So hopefully doing these problems has helped you. You can obviously watch this video as many times as you want. You can use this when you're doing your quizzes and tests. So I will see you next time.